So I want to share with you one idea about the world to come. The world to come is the world of reward, the world where after Moshiach come, when we become spiritual beings, we will be able to experience the full power of who we have been or what we have become. Olam Haba is the final reward, and it's experiencing the work you have done. And interestingly, we usually make the mistake to think that, oh, I've learned so much Torah, I've made so many mitzvot, I'm so religious. And really, we see from the Gemara, mostly two Gemara, one in Tanis 22a and one in Avodah Zarah 18a, where it speaks about who gets Olam Haba, who is Ben Olam Haba, who deserves to enter into that world of reward and will experience a special reward. And basically, in both places, it speaks about the people that actually don't necessarily look religious. It says about the Rabbi Ruka Chazal that he was speaking to Eliyahu Navi, and Eliyahu Navi told him, "You see that guy who is in with black shoes and doesn't wear tzitzis and looks like a non-Jew, and that he gets Olam Haba." So he says, okay, he goes to him and says, how do you get Olam Haba? Or actually we ask, what's your profession? So he says that I'm worked in jails and I saved girls from being raped and try to make sure that men and women will be in separate beds, and he will do things in jail to make sure things go in order, nobody gets oppressed, and things go in a holy way for the Jews. And he will also find out, he'll dress as a non-Jew to find out what it is that the non-Jews are planning, if there were any decrees against the Jews. And he gets Olam Haba. Another thing that Rabbi Ruka asked to other people that Eliyahu Navi pointed out to him is two people who were jesters, who were comedians, and they would make people happy and fix other people's dispute, make them create shalom. And that's another example of people who get Olam Haba. Another Gemara, Avodah Zarah 18a, that I just mentioned before, is that he says Rabbi Hanina asked Rabbi Yossi. Now Rabbi Hanina is a huge Talmid Chacham. He's very smart. He does a lot of mitzvot. He knows a lot of Torah. But he asked his rabbi, Rabbi Yossi, will I have a share in the world to come? And Rabbi Yossi asked him, is there an episode that characterizes you? Is there something unique about you that you would say makes you you? What have you become in a way? In our Olam Haba is what we have achieved that makes us turn into a certain unique way. So Rabbi Hanina answers yes, that once I collected money for Purim and I mistakenly thought it was tzedakah, and he gave it all to tzedakah. So later he donated that amount for Purim. So Rabbi Yossi answers, I hope that I will have a share like you. Like, it has nothing to do with mitzvot. I mean, yes, there's a mitzvah of tzedakah, but it has nothing to do with being so religious and knowing so much Torah and all that. Of course, I'm not saying that one should not learn Torah and do mitzvot. What I'm saying is that all the Torah and the mitzvot can be done, and really you're not going to get Olam Haba from it. Because the whole purpose of being here is to transform yourself into a being that will do things that are beautiful, that are loving, that are giving. All the Torah and all the mitzvot you learn is to transform you into a being that helps people, that helps the oppressed, that makes people happy, that makes you become very honest in what you do and be a generous giver. We have in the same Gemara, Avodah Zarah 18a, it speaks about a non-Jew asking Rabbi, he says the executioner, the Roman executioner, asked Rabbi. So it's a non-Jew asking Rabbi, if I increase the fire and remove the sponges, will you bring me to the world to come. So Rabbi Hanina agreed and swore to him about this, and the executioner did that, and Rabbi Hanina died quickly, and the executioner jumped into the fire. And Rabbi Hanina and the executioner are, so there was a voice coming from heaven that they both got Olam Haba. So here, again, it has nothing to do with mitzvot and Torah and looking super religious or anything like that. It has to do with what type of human being you are. And we have to make sure we don't miss the point. We don't miss, if we think we're here just to do mitzvot or just to learn Torah, we might be trapped by the Yetzer Hara into thinking that I just have to look religious and act religious. At the end, we see from the Gemaras and from what our rabbi says that after all is what Rav Shlomo HaMelech says. Are you a Yirei Shamayim? Meaning, do you fear God only? Meaning, are you doing everything to bring good into the world? Or are you doing everything just for your own selfish reasons? What makes you unique? What's your thing? Do you think that you're honest? Is you think that you're a giver? Is you think that you're a helper? If we see what all the prophets said in Tanakh about what the Jewish people need to do in order to bring redemption, to bring Moshiach, to bring the world to come, they all say the same thing: help the orphan, protect the oppressed, give money to the poor, feed them, find them jobs, help the divorcees, the widowed, and all the people who are suffering are here for the people to act and help them. So meaning that if really right now I say, okay, I want Olam Haba. Today I want to get Olam Haba. So what do? You take your phone and you call, the orphan place, or an organization that works with widows, or an organization that works with really poor people, and you ask them, what can I do? How can I offer my services? Find ways to support them financially or physically. And that's really how we'll get Olam Haba. Fixing our relationship, creating peace between two people, our marriage, the spouse, the way we talk to our spouse, all those are the things that's going to give us our Olam Haba. So then we could ask, why do we need the Torah then? Why do we need the mitzvahs? Because it's to bring us, without those mitzvahs and without the Torah, obviously it has to be done and learned the right way, but without those mitzvahs and without the Torah, we will not know how to properly do those character traits, how to properly not offend anyone, how to properly fight against oppression. It's so hard to just speak to someone and without hurting them. It's just so hard to speak just at all about someone without saying anything negative. It is so hard to go at work and being honest. We need guidance, we need coaching, we need tools, we need to know how the world works, what are the tendencies of the world, the energies of the world, how things work, and we need to fuse into them, unite ourselves into them, and learn to juggle with all those things. And that's really the way I understand it. The way we use Torah and the mitzvahs is to really push us to become these good people who help, who love, who give. And that's what our Olam Haba is going to be. But we have to become spiritual activists. The problem is that we become passive religious robots. If I just wake up and then I just go daven and then I learn and I do things and I go to work and then I go home and it looks like I had a religious life. Oh, and I do Shabbat and I do all the Chagim, the holidays. Okay, very nice. You look at a religious life, but you might be doing all that just for selfish reasons, just to fit part of a group, just to feel good about yourself that you're a spiritual religious guy. But did you help anyone? Did you do any good actually? Oh yeah, you did that. You know, our spiritual connection with God is only going to be true and real if we have a physical connection to the people. Our spirituality in Judaism is not going out of this world. Our spirituality in Judaism is bringing action into this physical world and helping the people with our soul. So we have to think, there are energies in me, energy of love, energy of giving, energy of expanding, energy of growing. All those emotions and energies, those are the spirituality that are connected to our soul that we can use through our body to bring goodness into the world. So you cannot be spiritually passive. It doesn't work. Or for yourself, you meditate, I'm spiritually connected to God, but it's a personal thing. You have to become a spiritual activist. If you want Olam Haba, a spiritual activist is someone who is going to call the orphanage. A spiritual activist is someone who is going to help the abused kids. A spiritual activist is someone who is going to go out of his way to get more money for the poor, to open shelters. If we are just religious, passive people, we cannot truly be called spiritual, and we will not get Olam Haba. So let's make sure that if we really want redemption, if we really want Olam Haba, right? We always speak about Olam Haba, the world to come, the world of reward. Everything we do here, it's for that. So let's not miss the point. You might live your whole life, and I have to point something very, very important that without it, it might be very, really terrible. We have to know that you can think that you're doing, let's say, I'm a rabbi, okay? And I teach a lot of Torah. So I say, wow, I'm so good, I'm so spiritual, I teach a lot of Torah, I help a lot of people. No, I don't get zero credit for that, because I didn't have to work so hard. I'm talented in teaching and inspiring. So you might think, oh wow, it's so talented, he's great, why is he getting great Olam Haba? No. I don't get zero credit, or at least that's not what my Olam Haba is going to come from. What makes me unique is not the fact that I'm teaching. I was gifted with the fact that I love Judaism and I love teaching and I love Torah, so here you go. No, because there's no real effort. You know what my Olam Haba is really going to come from? From the things that I had a hard time with fixing, whether it's my ego, whether it's my anger, the way I talk to my wife, the way I talk to my children, the way I'm going to help people. Not the way I would think that with the Torah. But it's going to come, I teach someone Torah and someone needed real help and special attention. And if then I go out of my way and stretch my time and go out of my comfort zone, then I'm able to maybe get Olam Haba if I do it the right way, if I really help out of love. Now that's not easy. We can get confused and we think we leave our mission. I'm so good at that, and therefore I get Olam Haba because that's what I'm great at. Look how many people I'm affecting. No. That's the biggest tool, because it can be all for myself, my own glory, for my own fame, for me feeling good about myself, and it looks so religious also, but really has nothing to do with that. So we have to examine what's my mission in this world. Yes, you might be talented in some places. It doesn't mean that your Olam Haba comes from those places. It means that's your mission. You have a mission. So we have to do our mission. But within that mission is going to come moments where I can trap my Olam Haba, so to speak. Get my Olam Haba moments. And if I transform my whole day like that, where yes, I can, if I really transform my whole career, what I'm good at, into something that expands and make me go completely out of my comfort zone and transcend myself and become unique in what I'm doing, and really helping people, then in a unique way, not just because I'm talented, then there I get the real thing. There I get my Olam Haba. So it's something for all of us to ask ourselves, and not being trapped in that religious habits and thinking, oh, I'm good, I'm religious, I get Olam Haba. It won't work like that. We had people who looked very religious. You have the Gemara in Sanhedrin, since 106, with Doeg and Achitophel. Doeg, who knew so much Torah, he could give 300 different halachic psakim on every discussion, something like that. He was huge Talmid Chacham. And what? He didn't get Olam Haba. Why? Because everything he was saying, all his Torah was outside. It was not connected to it. He didn't live it. He was from the mouth outside. He was not connected to his heart. So it was external. It was just like a robot. It didn't change him. It didn't change others. So this is a food for thought, and I hope that you will reflect on your own life and will push you to really realize, okay, what Judaism truly is. Let's remember the words of Rabbi Chaim Vital I always repeat. It's much, much worse to hurt someone else than to do negative mitzvah. It's much, much worse, for example, to hurt someone's feeling than to transgress Shabbat. That's what he's saying. Now it seems, from a religious perspective, from coming, if it seems hard to believe. But the truth is, God wants only you to be close to God if you're close to human beings. There's no such a thing as being close to God and far away from human beings. You're being delusional. God doesn't want you to be close to Him if you're close to human beings. Because God is in every human being. God is everywhere. And the purpose of us being here is not just to be with God. It's to be with God through humanity. Humanity needs to be close to God. Technically, you're with God all the time anyway. You and God, God is in you. God is around you, surrounding you. He's where you want Him to be. But we are the people that are around you, and that's really the thing. We have to really care for the world. We have to really care for humanity. We have to care for nature. We have to care for animals. We have to care for human beings, non-Jews, Jews, doesn't matter where they're from. That's really what we're here for. And then when we tap into that, we tap into a tremendous power of love, a tremendous power of giving, and nothing can stop that. This is reconnecting to Chesed Olam Haba, God created the world with love and Chesed. So we have to really redirect our perspective as religious Jews or as human beings, as non-Jews, about, okay, what am I here for? Do I care? And we have to be activists, spiritual activists. Otherwise, the care is just in the words. I'm speaking to myself. All this, I'm speaking to myself in order to become a Ben Olam Haba, and deserve to be with all of you in the place of tremendous reward, where we have become the greatest of who we could have become. So may we all be there one day all together. May we become spiritual activists and make our Judaism not just something religious with rites and spiritual practices, but let's become spiritual activists by helping the people, by caring for people. This is what true Judaism is all about. The Jews people are supposed to care for the oppressed in the world. We're supposed to be the main message, not to be the main message that we have to be like fanatic religious. We have to spread the main message that we have to be lovers of the world, and protectors of human rights, and protectors of morality, protectors of harmony and goodness. And only this way will we bring Moshiach, Otherwise, than come by himself. If we become spiritual activists, like I just described it, we will bring Moshiach faster and in a much healthier way. If we don't, we just become Jewish religious robots. Then it's going to come in its own, but it won't be with pride and happiness. It will be with a lot of pain. So may we do it the right way. May God be with us, and God bless you all.